This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Revival of America podcast. This is Jenny. I am the owner and the host of the Revival of America. Today we have Silk in the house, everybody, from this Diamond and Silk show. So please, everybody, over here on X Spaces, if you guys have a question for Silk, feel free to request a mic. And at some point, I will unmute your mic in this podcast, and you can ask Silk your question. Over here on Rumble Live and X Live, if you guys have a question for Silk, please write it down in the comment area, and I will read those to her as well at some point in this podcast. Also, to everybody, please be careful who you listen to, who you follow, what you're putting into your mind. It's crazy out there. Even some of the people that I followed and listened to for a while, they're falling by the wayside, and kind of a little bit shocking. You realize that maybe you're not the person you've been listening to this whole time. So anyway, please, guys, I say it for a reason. Protect your minds. You're going to need to save your minds for what's to come, and be prepared for that. Because what Wano Sav, I just had a great podcast with him. If you weren't in that podcast, the replay is already up. Check it out. He was more direct in telling us what is about to come. So please, everybody, go check that out when you have a free moment. Also, too, guys, we are being listened to in 152 countries. We are making a lot of great positive noise. So if you come into this podcast late or you want to share with a friend or family, you can follow the podcast host or the social medias, which are iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Riverside, Amazon Music. Social medias are Jenny Jeread Facebook at Jenny_Jeread X, at J Jeread Rumble, at J Jeread True Social, at J Jeread Instagram, at J Jeread. Oh, excuse me. That's it. At J Jeread Instagram, The Revival of America over on YouTube, and The Revival of America over on Telegram. Also, you guys, many of you are sending me some of your journeys to get on the podcast to the Revival of America at yahoo.com. Don't send them there. I have created I've created a special email just for the stories so I can be sure to be able to get to them right away, see them, vet through them, read them, and then get back to you via email if I believe they're legitimate. You're sending them to the Revival of America at yahoo.com. Please don't do that. They're getting buried in my daily email as well as the spam. So please send them to TROA submissions at yahoo.com. Again, TROA submissions at yahoo.com. I will again vet them, read through them, and get back to you via email as soon as I can. And we'll get your stories heard on the podcast. Because remember, guys, it's your voices, it's your stories that are going to help shape this new world that we're coming into. And then if you guys have a question or you want to inquire, many of you have been inquiring about Field McConnell's books. I do still have them available. We have a few left. So if you guys want to get the set, if you want to get the individual ones, just reach out to me at the Revival of America at yahoo.com. Or if you're trying to get in touch with John Baxter and his staff to do the free AI scan or go see him at his facilities. Because remember, everybody, once you get down there to see John Baxter in Florida, if you're in that area, go take advantage. You can use his facilities for free. All the equipment in there that you actually see, guys, real time healing in there. So please reach out to me at that email, the Revival of America at yahoo.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, let's see what else. If you get a random message, somebody trying to portray them as being me or any of my guests, know that myself or my guests will not randomly reach out to you and ask you if you're ready for a scare event, if you're at any crypto, any financial information. If you get something like that, please block them, report, and let me know so I can make sure that they are not here in my channels. And with that, we got Miss Silk. She just entered the room, and I just sent you the I think co-host or speaker. Oh, there you go. She's got it. Hello, Miss Silk.
Finish your announcement because that's very, very interesting. I've had a lot of people to try to impersonate my sister and I. So go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I'm just because we have a lot of people out there, like you say, trying to impersonate us, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
what happens is they send out like DM messages, whether it's through Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, X right here, and it tends to start out like greetings or just kind of something like you guys know how I speak, right? So that's not me just reading it right there. But what happens is they try to get the trust of the person
Mm-hmm.
on the other end, and then what's happening, because I have several audience members that they've had this happen to, and they've been taken for their livelihoods or they
Mm-hmm.
all their crypto or whatever it is. So the stories are real, and they're really pretty scary because these
Mm-hmm.
scammers are getting more creative by the day. So I'm just letting my audience know, please be careful, they're out there. And just know that I am not that person. That's not me reaching out to you, it's somebody else. So please block and report them. So see, you hear from Silk right here too. She's saying the same thing about her
Yes.
and her sister. So it's
Yes.
not us, guys. Just make sure you block them and report them and get them out of there.
That's correct. That's correct. That's we had that to happen. And they gain your trust, and then they start asking for money.
Yep.
Ask you to spend, $5, $10, and that adds up. And so what I did is I went through it with whoever it was. I just anonymous, and went through it and got to that point and saw what was going on, and I was able to report exactly the steps that they were taking and what they were doing and how they were scamming people out of money.
Oh, good. So you were able to, well, see, there you go, guys. There's another example. So
Mhm.
we know that it's happening. So just protect yourselves, guys, because it's a wild, wild west out there, I to say the least.
It's a big scam. It truly is a big scam, Jenny. I'm just thinking of just life in general. Everybody is after money, 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 or power, power, power.
Yep.
I just look at how, you pay taxes. You pay taxes on your home. You pay taxes on your vehicle. You pay taxes when you purchase your home. But then after you pay off your home, or even while you're still paying on your home, they still want to tax you more taxes. And I'm like, paying taxes for what? And then the taxes go up. And I'm like, we're going to get a different type of fire department. It's not like I have fires every day for the fire department to come to my ditch. I'm just like, it is truly, truly ridiculous on the way that, especially within our state governments, the way that they have intertwined a lot of things to just taxes on top of taxes. It's ridiculous. So beware, everybody.
Well, it's like you buy a house once, right? You should only have to pay the property taxes once. I mean, you got to pay that shit every year. Like for what? Like I bought it once. I'm not, yeah, it's just the tax thing is just a whole big old pyramid scheme. I call them the fee collectors. All these little middlemen collecting these fees, they're fee collectors.
Right. Even down to getting your vehicle inspected, and then you got to pay this fee, then you got to turn around and pay another fee, and then get the tax. You got to get that, renewed every year and so forth. And I'm like, okay, so how is this? What is the, how is this benefiting me? Why do we got to keep doing this? But we have illegal aliens that's coming over here to our country. They're not paying nothing. If anything, they're taking from us. I don't know. They're not paying any taxes. They're not paying into our system, yet they're taking and taking and taking. But we, the American people, struggling to survive every single day. And these bastards is finding another way to tax us half to death.
Yeah, the little scammers. See, the whole the whole industry of our workforce is the biggest pyramid scheme, right?
Yes, the workforce, the medical force, the medical field, the insurance scam, the taxes, of course. It's like the food scam, the gas scam. It's just like all a doggone scam, and they continue to find a way to take every dime, some kind of way. You find yourself every day, got to pay this, got to make sure that's paid. It is truly ridiculous.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep us broke.
And broken. They truly do.
So how have you been, my friend? It's always such a good time to have you. And I'm sure you watched that Fauci shit today. Like he knows he's in a pile of shit.
Yeah, it was a shit show for real, but I could not watch it all.
No,
I really couldn't. When I think about what he did, tears came to my eyes. Tears came to my heart. Because I sat there and I started looking, and he talks about pleading the fifth, as his right. But then I started thinking about our rights. What about our right to having autonomy over our own bodies? What about our right for our First Amendment? What about our rights to pick and choose? But he want to sit there and talk about his Fifth Amendment right. And I'm like, you look, oh girl, it was terrible. So I eventually had to go ahead and turn it off because it's theatrical. When I look at stuff being held there in the Senate, it is truly theatrical. It's like a same script, different cast with a different mask. Ain't Jack gonna get done? I was just saying how I interviewed this one doctor who provided a FDA medical process to screen women early for early detection, cancer detection. And under the Biden regime, they got upset with him for basically him doing too many of those procedures to see if the woman have cancer or not, the early detection. And they sentenced him to 20 years. He ain't killed nobody, ain't harmed nobody, ain't hurt nobody, but they sentenced him to 20 years. Okay. But then I look at Fauci, 1.6 million people dead because of his protocol, because of his scam. Okay. All right. And he's still walking free with bodyguards. No, we have a serious problem here in America that really truly needs to be addressed. The thing that came over me that saddened me is the fact that Diamond and Silk tried to tell everybody early on back in 2020 when all of this first began. Okay. And what they did is silenced us, censored us, called us conspiracy theorists, interfered with our business relationship with some of the networks. And I do believe that some of the networks was in on the interference as well, because, you know, certain people own certain things at the very tip top, and they're all liberal. I don't care if it is a right-wing news station. Okay. They owned by somebody up there on the left. And but we tried to tell everybody that something was not right, something was going on. We talked about the gain of function research. We was told that that was a lie. We talked about that the so-called virus, which was nothing but a man-made bioengineered weapon, being released from Wuhan, China, and they said no, it came from a bat. And so I started asking the question: how's a bat having sex with a human to give the human a virus? It really truly didn't make sense to me. And so we was called so many names. And now to see how the shit has hit the fan, the chickens has come home to roost, and people are finally getting the truth out there. Sad thing is that our media, the liberal media, the one that sat there and advocated for people to be poisoned to death, they're basically quieter than mice peeing on cotton. You don't hear nothing pretty much.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't hear pretty much nothing from them. I see a lot of commentators who sat right there on a lot of these networks, left wing and right wing, and they sat right there on those networks and they pushed the bullshit. And now I hear them talking, and I'm like, no. Y'all didn't find out nothing until now. Diamond and Silk knew it from the beginning when it first started. We told everybody that something wasn't right. And Diamond started asking the question: is this thing genetically modified? Is it based on your genetic makeup? Okay, now we're finding out yes, and yes. See, that's why they came out and said that Black people was disproportionately affected by this particular virus based on your comorbidities and all of this different stuff. So Jenny, I started asking the question, okay, so with this virus, no, our comorbidities, you know, if I have high blood pressure, okay, so don't white people have high blood pressure? You know, don't white people have, you know, diabetes? You know, and I just trying to see, okay, so did this virus go to school to learn its colors? Because how do we know if it's a white body or a Black body? You know, so it had to be based off of genetic makeup. Okay. And then they talk about standing 6 feet apart. And I'm like, well, when did the virus go to school to learn how to count 6 feet? How do they know that I am within, you know what, 6 feet? You know, the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply. How am I supposed to be fruitful with my husband sleeping 6 feet apart? It just didn't make no doggone sense to me, Jenny. And so we started talking about it. My sister and I, we started talking about it, calling it out. Y'all, all of this was nothing but a scam. I remember being on a network, and I called this thing exactly what it was. It was a scam-demic. That's what it was. So the liberal media platform started calling this other network and going off on them, scolding them. And then they called Diamond and Silk to scold us, to tell us we can never say the word scam-demic again on their network. Well, Diamond and I, we knew this is going to be a big old issue, because we're not going to lie to the people, and we're not going to sugarcoat the truth, because too much sugar would make you sick. Our morals and our values would not allow us to lie to the people. Then they wanted Diamond and Silk. They wanted us as so-called influencers, okay? They wanted us to do a commercial with these two folk that's at the top of the chart here. They Black folks. They names rhyme with Yo Mama, okay? And they wanted us to do a commercial with them and to get people to get the jab. And we told them, hell no. We wrote back and said, hell no. We will not tell Black people to go and get pumped up with this particular poison. We will not do that. And we turned that around. Look, you could be talking to a really wealthy a millionaire tonight, Jenny, had we went along with all of this different stuff that they try to get us to do. But Diamond and Silk said, hell to the no, we will not do that. That is immoral, and it's misinformation, and it's not good for the human body. with what we had learned about this thing. Okay. And then now to find out that, okay, the shedding the shedding part of this deal. All right. We told people that it sheds. We told people, oh no, they called us conspiracy theorists, shut it all down. Bam. Come to find out it sheds. It sheds, it sheds, it sheds. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you got the COVID jab or not. Okay. It doesn't matter. The deal is the stuff is shedding on people that don't even that never took the jab. All right. So if your immune system is down, your immunity becomes susceptible to that, whatever that poison is that they're spreading out there. And then if your immune system is low, now you can get sick. That's what happened to Diamond. Her body mimicked it. All of the different side effects that people who actually got the jabs was complaining about. Diamond did not get the jab, but her body mimicked the side effects from the jab. Then to find out, Jenny, okay, when Tulsi Gabbard gave her brief about Fauci, how Fauci and Big Pharma was actually colluding together. Okay, what they wanted to do was to finesse the drug. All right, we're gonna create this issue, what they call a virus, so Big Pharma can create a vaccine. Okay, nothing but a scam. That's all it was. All right. So if they did that for this particular reason, I'm pretty sure they did it for a lot of other different medications. After Diamond passed away, and I constantly tell people this because I want you all to get it. After Diamond passed away, I got her insulin and my mother insulin tested, and the same stuff that was in that COVID jab is also in the insulin as well. You can see it clear as day under the microscope. You see the little lights, you see the little quantum dots, you see all of the little stuff right there in the insulin. So they might not have gotten my sister through the COVID jab, but they got her through the insulin. The same with my mother. Okay. And now that here we is about 5 years later now everything is coming out. And you can see what actually happened, how it happened. And they did it in a way because they didn't want you to know which way they was coming. All right. You couldn't just blame it on COVID. You couldn't just blame it on the jab. Okay. So, and then they turned around and start naming it cancer, kidney failure, heart disease, instead of what it really, really, truly was straight up poison. And they had it in every different, in the Lovenox, in anything that was injectable in your body, they had this stuff, have this stuff in it. Now, do they still have it in there now? I can't say right now because I don't take insulin. But after my sister passed away 3 years ago and I tested her insulin out, my mother passed away in 2021. I tested her insulin out all the way back from 2021, and that stuff was in their insulin.
Yeah, and at the tip of those, you know how they would always swab everybody's nose with those Q-tips? Yep. They're at that stuff is at the tip of the Q-tips. There's like a little gel thing on it, and they jam those things so far back. They're trying to get your back to your pineal gland or whatever. So yeah, I would always tell everybody, do not do the swabs because whatever that gel stuff is on there, that same shit is in the jab. So yeah, it was very nefarious. So yeah, it was a very he pleaded the fifth 111 times, and he wouldn't even acknowledge the audience because one of the senators had him stand up to see if they been affected by if they hadn't if they got fired because they didn't get the jab or were insulted, all that kind of stuff. Fauci wouldn't even acknowledge it. But a lot of people are having debates and stuff of what's going to happen. And what are your thoughts? I mean, I know you said you weren't able to see the whole thing, but what do you think is going to come down the pike? I hope that they arrest him for the public to see. He knows he's in deep shit.
Yeah, he needs to be arrested, but girl, he really truly need to go straight to hell.
Yeah,
he needs to burn in hell.
I call him Dr. Evil. He's Dr. Evil.
Yeah. He needs to, for what he have done, he needs to burn straight up in hell. Don't pass go, don't collect $200, goes straight to hell. And anybody else, Dr. Britt, the scarf lady, anybody else involved in the shenanigans and part of it needs to burn in hell as well. Okay, that's what needs to happen. straight up, burn straight up in hell. Now, what they're doing now is theatricalizing everything now. They're doing that for our eyes so that they can, so that we won't, distract us and to say, okay, we're just going to give you some crumbs to make you happy. Okay, so that this here can go away is what they're going to try to do. But I really believe that there are so many people out here in this country that is upset with Dr. Fauci. I don't think he's going to be amongst us very, very long.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's going to get assassinated because somebody's going to take his little ass right on out because of what he's done to people. Love him. People is having that great awakening and realizing that my mama didn't die from no cancer. Yeah. My mama didn't die. You know what I'm saying? They didn't die from this right here. Okay, I'm interviewing people for the last almost 2-3 months now, where the loved ones went in just to get some oxygen and came out in a body bag. Okay, all right. They shooting these individuals up with this remdesivir, and people, their kidney functions is gone, their organs is failing. Okay, all right. And so with people realizing what has happened truly as they are having that awakening and realizing that all of this was a scam. You mean my loved one can be here? You mean my mother could be here to see her second great grandchild? You see what I'm saying? You know, you just start thinking about that stuff. All right. Yeah. All I got to say is Fauci, he better keep all of the goons on around him because there's a lot of angry people that's angry with what he did and how he have split it up and divided people homes and took away their loved ones through these protocols, these hospital protocols, this remdesivir, through the bioengineered weapon where he used our tax dollars, funneled it over there to China to create this stuff, and then gonna act oblivious like he don't know what the hell's going on. And that little motherfucker know exactly what's going on. Yeah. We'll see, Jenny.
I love my little cousin Christian over there.
Yeah, I love
you go, girl.
I don't have the time. Cussing, and he's a little motherfucker. He truly is. He don't care about life. He don't care about you living. So if he don't care about life and want to see everybody dead, including the Beagles, then guess what? He don't deserve life. Why is he living? How is he able to live and be around here murdering people? So that's where I'm at, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, sister. Go ahead, Miss Jersey. Your hands up, sweetie. Go ahead.
Hello, Jenny.
Hello.
Hey, Diamond. How are you? It's
hey,
so good to talk to you. I feel the same way, motherfuckers.
Yes.
I was gonna say, God, it went right out of my head. I think that one. I was gonna say one good thing came out of today, and it's just that the secret's out.
Mm-hmm.
About Fauci finally, but I was, I know I'm having a little bit of a negative backlash of that because they don't care. They don't believe me anyway. So they still don't believe him. He went in front of Congress. So I don't know what it takes for these people, but I started reading some comments on here and it seems like the same thing is happening to other people too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like some type of, I don't know what it is.
So Jersey, are you saying people aren't believing what they're seeing when you're not believing you, or believing you in general when you're trying to talk to them about it?
Well, both for sure. But I don't know. Like, it's funny because it's hard these days because where do they get the information from? So that's, I guess it's going to have to seep into, 30-year-olds.
Well, unfortunately, for a lot of individuals, they usually wake up at the end. They usually figure it out at the very, very end. I really wished I knew what I knew now before my sister passed or before my mother passed. See, we didn't know a lot of this stuff. We had to educate ourselves. So for a lot of people that you're speaking of, dear, what eventually happen as you continue to say something to them, they'll hear something from somewhere else, something pinch them, and they will start to be, wait a minute, I did hear something about that. And then they'll begin to put two and two together. And eventually, before it's too late, they will realize that their loved one was actually murdered by hospital protocol, or by the protocol that the CDC put in place. They will
And that's going to bring us
realize
together.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you know, when they come, just be there with open arms. You don't have to judge them. Just say, "Oh, honey, I know it takes some longer to realize than others." That's all you can do. But they will eventually get the message.
And they're also, you know, they're the ones who got the shot, and I'm sure they're scared, you know. So I think that I'll just give them their space, you know, as much as I want to go smack them because they're my children. I can smack my children, but
So
but
let me ask you this.
they're men now. Come on.
Let me
But
ask you this.
yeah,
Are you
that's
saying that your children got the jab?
oh yes, both of them. My
Is it
sons.
affecting their body?
They're in the late. They're in their early 30s. They're, you know, neither one of. I begged them. I looked in my son's eyes, my younger one, and I really, from my heart, I could feel it. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Please don't get this," and he already did.
Mm-hmm. So what
So,
I'm asking you, Jersey, is are they having any side effects right now from the jab?
other than being stubborn as hell, no,
Okay.
they're not. Thank God. Thank God. No.
What? Thank your lucky stars right now, darling. But they need to
Yes,
be doing
ma'am.
something to combat. If they got it, do something to combat those parasites or whatever was injected
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
inside of their body. If not, it will eventually take over their body, and their organs will begin to fail, or they'll call it cancer, and then boom, death happens suddenly. That's how they have this stuff set up to operate.
and you know, everybody, you can detox from that too. So just know
Mm-hmm.
that. Do your research on it. I did a lot of research because I'm like Silk here. When they shut us down back in 2019, I'm like, something's not right. And that's when I started digging. I'm like, oh, hell no, this is not good for us. Like, yeah, I just was there was a big old rabbit hole there. So thank you for that, Jersey. Go ahead, Dr. James.
Oh, hey, Jenny. Thanks for having me up. Silk,
Hello.
it's so great to see you again. It feels like it's been a week almost, or it has been a
Okay.
week. Yeah. Hey, or
All
maybe two, because she was gone and took a vacation. That wasn't fair. But
Yeah.
yeah, awesome seeing you again. You spoke about Fauci and what needs to happen to him, and I totally agree with you. There's only one reason I can think of to keep him alive. It's so he's a doctor of research, essentially medical research, right? These
Mm-hmm.
guys don't have the connections, money pull, none of them to get into the position he got into at the age that he got into it, right? From the late 70s on, he was making decisions. From the early 80s, he was making real decisions, creating things like AIDS for people. So
Mm-hmm.
to get into that level of power in by the mid 80s, right? Early 80s, sorry. Like,
Uh-huh.
that takes something. That takes a benefactor, right? And then
Correct.
so there's a myth going around that like, oh, well, he got it because of Bill Gates and they were roommates in college and friends. Well, no. Um, Fauci's like 15 years older than Bill. They never went to the same college. Bill didn't even graduate. Fauci went to Cornell for med, whatever. And so like that's all false. And in reality, so like the Gates family fortune came from the Rockefellers because Bill Gates' like
Mm-hmm.
great grandfather was John D. Rockefeller's economic advisor. And so it's always gone down through the Gates that way. They're really like Rockefeller family group.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole medical thing's been driven by the Rockefellers. The only thing I can think of reason to keep him alive is that you're going to have Fauci testifying who owns him, right? Who's running
I'm
him?
pretty sure he wrote it in his diary.
I hope so. But
Yeah.
I mean, he
I
regularly
really
deleted
believe
stuff too.
we already know that. I really believe that the information for that, we already know it and we already have it. I really truly believe that. And I believe that there would be only one reason to leave him alive, and that's to stone him to death. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I got an idea. Silk. Send him around through all 50 states barefoot, make him walk like Forrest Gump, and then everybody gets to throw tomatoes at him, and then he reaches DC, and then the old rope trick.
Yeah,
That sounds good to me.
that exactly. And I have no mercy, I have no compassion, I have no sympathy when it comes down to him. You have to be straight evil with what he did to the dogs, what he did to human beings, to be studying something so sinister like that. And then we had Obama to come in to put a moratorium on the studies here in Chapel Hill when it came down to the gain of function. But for his little evil behind to go through the what is that? The eco, oh God, I can't even get their name. But anyway, to launder money through them to still continue the study after it was shut down here in America and use our American tax dollars to do so, that was straight up evil. And those are the type of individual mass murderers. Don't they take and execute them? They execute mass murderers. And so he's one of them, and that's what needs to happen. I don't care how it happened, but that's what needs to happen. So, Doctor, I believe that we already know who he's owned by. Okay, when he created HIV in the lab, because you remember Dr. Judy Malkovich is the one that tried to put that information out there, and they took and they locked her up. They basically persecuted her, prosecuted her. Yeah. But she had the information out there on what he did with HIV. Okay. So yeah, we already know who he's owned by. And but he needs to be gone bye-bye, straight to hell, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you. And it's definitely going to happen. You know it's going to happen. This kava karma cannot be ignored. Hey, and the only other thing I guess is, Jenny, at the very early on, you said something. Y'all were talking about the money, and y'all were talking about how they want us broke, right? And then went on. But like, this is all about that. They want us broke, but it's not just financial. They want us broke physically, mentally. They want our families broke, our faith broke,
Yep.
our souls broke. They want our hope broke. They want it all broke. Okay, it's not money. It's everything. They want full on despair, and any way they can do it, 1,000 cuts, right? That's what they're doing. And this stuff, I mean, Fauci is probably he'll go down in history when it's all counted up as the number one mass murderer of all time. He's passing like the Bolsheviks. They were at 20 million, This guy's done more. So it's horrific what we've seen. It's astounding we've been living alive to see this happen. And I think it's going to wake up the whole planet and we'll all be better. It's a tragedy what's happened to so many people to get to this point and see it. But, we're going to tell. Nobody's going to forget this one and nobody's going to rewrite it. And so it's just great to see you every week up here in the show. And
Thank you.
you've had to live through so much of this stuff,
Mhm.
and thank you for coming up and sharing it with us.
Thank you so much. I often tell people that's why I can talk the way I talk about it so passionately. It's because I lived it. I went through it. I saw it. The last 10 months of my sister's life, I moved her in with me so that I can take care of her. When she suffered from blood clots, the blood clots that would not, she had the type of blood clots that would not go away. Okay. So I saw how it happened. I saw when it went down, and when she passed away, she was right here in my kitchen. She was right here. You see what I'm saying? So I saw it all happen, when it happened, how it went down. So when I say that Fauci Fauci belongs in hell, that's the bottom line for me. I don't care what kind of flash, what comes back from anybody to say, oh, you shouldn't have said this or shouldn't have said that. No, that motherfucker needs to burn in hell. And that's the bottom doggone line, period. Because I know what's going on and what it's all about. I've been studying this since 2020, but keep in mind, they kept information from us. So you only had access to just a little bit. And what little bit I knew, I was able to gain access to, along with my God-given common sense, I knew that this wasn't nothing but a scam. It wasn't nothing but a sham that was trying to make President Trump look bad. And we had the election coming up. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But now, after the death of my mother, after the death of my sister, and with me going deeper and actually being able to gain more access to everything, oh, I am 100% for sure. And then you had what? Tulsi Gabbard to come out and read her statement about what Fauci actually did. I felt straight up liberated, vindicated, because I already knew what was going on. Yeah, so thank you so very much, honey, for your comment.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Doc, you have your hand raised, and then we'll go to Adam and then Jersey. Go ahead, Doc. All right, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, thanks. Silk, always great to hear from you. You're amazing. My mom loves you. Thank you for speaking with her last time she jumped on, because she did nothing through COVID other than watch you and your sister. You guys helped support her 100%. But yeah, what hit me was at the time was the 99.1 survival rate virus, and I don't know if you've seen Along Came Polly. The guy that Ben Stiller was he was what was it called, insurance statistician, or risk analysis, right? So he analyzed risk, like, oh, if you cross the street, this and that. I thought of it in that manner. 99.1 survival rate virus. They're telling me I'll take my chances. I got more chances to get hit by a car crossing the street. You know what I mean? So, that didn't make sense to me right there. That sent red flares up. And then they mentioned mRNA. Started looking into mRNA. That technology, they've been working on it since the 90s, and it's been nothing but a failure, and it never passed FDA approval or anything of the sort, and it's been known as a failure. Now, are they getting better with it? Possibly. Could have been better, in the future to help people, things like that, maybe. But they used us as lab rats, and they put this out.
Right.
The EUA was illegitimate because President Trump on stage brought up hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, fenbendazole, all these things, and they said, oh, he said shoot bleach in your arm. They said, oh, take horse paste. They blackballed it, and then they passed that EUA, because the thing is with the EUA, if you don't have viable treatments, then you could pass it. If there are viable treatments, then it's not, you can't pass it. So that thing is
Correct.
null and void. Their what's it called? Vaccine protection is null and void. And just because the EUA gave them that, right? So as things unfold, I think this was a great show. He pled the fifth 111 times, shows nothing but guilt, right? And the whole world got to see this. So that's the greater thing, is the acceptance. That's what we need, is people to understand, people to wake up, so the things that need to be done that we talked about earlier can be done without overreaction of the populace, that they understand what has been done to them, and has been done to them for a long time by big pharma and all this. So thanks for the mic. Always amazing that I love you, I love your sister, and I love your family. God bless you, and thank you so much for everything you do. And thanks, Jenny.
So much. Just to piggyback on something Adam just said, the emergency use, that was the gateway. They needed that emergency use in place so that now it can trickle down to the election to say, well, now we can break out these mail-in ballots, or these ballots. Now we can send out the ballots because people are too scared to come out and vote. They already had this plan years prior as to how they was going to do this. Think that they was planning to do this a little later on, but when President Trump got in, and if y'all remember back in 2020, January 2020, We had nowhere to go but up. President Trump had this country booming, baby. Okay. We had nowhere to go but straight on up to the top. And these evil bastards came in and implemented this. So even though they knew hydroxychloroquine was already in the files to show that this is what we can use to offset this, and then ivermectin and so forth, what they needed was that emergency use. Biden went in, did that executive order, and even when after Biden stole the election, that executive order remained in place. That's how Biden governed, via the executive order that they had put in place. Okay, all right. So that I want people to understand what this here was absolutely for. It wasn't just to murder us so that they can replace us with illegal aliens. They wanted to also gain power, siege power, and they did that through their man-made bioengineered weapon so that it can implement the emergency use. Okay. Remember Operation Warp Speed. See, that was put into place so that other industries, the red tape can be removed so other industries can make products and so forth without all of the red tape. But remember, who was over Operation Warp Speed?
Mike Pence.
Judith Mike Pence. Judith Mike, that backstabbing bastard, was over it. So he was in on it. Okay. Y'all remember that? He was in on it. Okay. All right. And see, they wanted to blame President Trump for all of this. They wanted to make it look like Trump is the reason for this. Trump is the reason for that. No, no, no. It's these evil, elitist, deep state bastards who are responsible for this, like Fauci, the scarf lady Brits, and everybody else who was involved in this. They are the ones who are responsible for this. Yeah.
Can I add one thing to what I was saying earlier, if you don't mind? It's I'm going to be
Yes.
very short. You mentioned it. 2016. If Hillary had won, it would have been Second Amendment. They would be taking that away from Americans, right? That would be term one. Term two, what I believe, something deadlier than a 99.1 survival rate virus would kick in, and all the FEMA camps that they set up and the guillotines that Obama had purchased under his administration would be utilized on Americans who stood up against that. And that's what we would have faced. Thank God for President Trump. Thank God for the men and women in the military. Without them, we would be in, the opposite, which would have been civil war and, things like that, things that would have been bad, things that we want to avoid. So it was a 10-year, I believe, operation, but it's for the better. The detriment and the calamity that would have happened the other direction was far worse than the route that we took. And we went through. It was tough. It was turmoil, but compared to third world countries, I think we've been doing all right. You know what I mean? And President Trump's been making sure that we've been able to sustain rather than be completely economically collapsed, waiting in bread lines and things like that.
Exactly.
So God bless him. God bless America. And God bless all of you.
Exactly.
Thank you,
God
Adam.
bless you. They wanted communism. They want communism here is exactly what they want. And if you look at it, J6ers under Joe Biden, look at how they tortured those people. You had grandmas and grandpas never had a parking ticket. They had them locked up in solitary confinement, calling everybody that was for President Trump or for America, calling them white supremacists. They even called me a white supremacist, and I'm a Black woman. Okay. So just look at how they did that, and it would have been 10 times worse. So thank God, even though we suffered 4 years of travesty, but guess what? We made it out. We made it through, thank God. But now we got to continue to save our children and our children. If not, honey, the fabric of America will be gone.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, I'm gonna send you this. Okay, Silk, I just the fixer, you're in here. I just got your you just tagged me in something here with Diamond and Silk in the ring beating up Dr. Fauci. I'm gonna tag you in that, Silk. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Thank you, the fixer.
Okay.
It's awesome. Real
Okay.
quickly, I want to say hi to Rubber Duck. He's in the house. And then Doc, yeah, you had your hand up earlier. Are you ready to go ahead and speak, or we'll go to Jersey?
No, I can speak. I can speak. I promise you, I can speak.
Yeah, you had your
I
hand
was
up.
ready
Go
to
ahead.
speak earlier, but yeah, no, but Diamond, I love you, sweetheart.
Love
Um,
you.
I, you and I knew each other way back in the day, back in the 2017, 2018s. Okay, I ran through 29 plus accounts back in those days. Okay, but no, everything you're saying is factual truth.
Mhm,
Okay, it
mhm,
is. We are living it. We are living it. Okay. Um, what we're looking at, and if you look at what they did to us during COVID, okay, and I never once wore a mask. You couldn't pay me
mhm,
to wear a mask,
mhm,
okay, because this is something that was a 98.8% survival rate. It's literally a bad flu,
mhm.
okay. And so, no, you couldn't pay me to wear a mask. And I'm just a damned old cowboy here in Texas. Okay. So I don't have that much of a voice and I don't need a voice. I just have to live my life. But
Mhm.
I watched you and your sister, and I watched you guys just literally tear people apart over their stupidity. I watched you guys tear people apart over their stupidity. And I love you guys.
Oh,
I love you
thank you so much for the love, sweetheart. Let me tell you all something. I never wore the mask either. Because I told him if God intended for me to wear a mask, he would not have created me a nostril. He wouldn't created me nostrils in order to be able to breathe. And so no, I did not wear that stuff. And I refused to wear it. I got into plenty of arguments, especially when my sister and I, when we was traveling, they had to get the driver, they had to get the person, the people, when you got people that travels with you stuff, they had to take care of stuff because Silk wasn't doing none of that stuff. They had to hurry on up and get me on up to my room or whatever. Because I refused to go along with the bull crap. I was not putting on no mask. I told him the only mask that I'm wearing is the mask that God gave me, my beautiful face. That's it. And if you
I
have a
love it.
problem with it, you can smother yourself, but I refuse to smother myself because I'm supposed to have access to life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. And I can't live, I can't have no happiness, and I can't pursue it dead. The period. That was the end of that.
Amen, little darling. Amen, and God bless you, darling. God bless you. And I'm gonna back out here, but no, I just wanted to say that you gave me and so many other people so much spirit during that time. Yeah, it wasn't even funny. It
Wow.
wasn't even funny.
Thank you so much, darling.
Thank you, Doc.
I
You're welcome,
All
sweetheart.
right, go ahead, Miss Jersey, and then we'll go over to Silent, and then Skanky. Skanky, I'm giving you the mic, so you can go after that. All right, go ahead, Jersey.
Okay, so just really quickly, here's the good thing about that happened today with Fauci that I noticed was the video of when he was coming into the hearing room. So he had to walk down the long hall and then
Mm-hmm.
go into the room. And what I noticed was he is surrounded by US Marshals. So that's a
Woo!
really good
That's
thing
huge.
because that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, but he should have been in handcuffs too. He
Well,
should have
yeah,
been left
but
in handcuffs as well. Yes, honey.
I
He
don't
should
know.
have.
I don't think he's running free or anything.
Mm-hmm. No, look, they need to have him in the orange jumpsuit or the striped ones. Y'all know the little one looked like a zebra back in the day. They need to have him in there walking around. Let me tell you, this man, I don't like saying the word hate or hating people, but I absolutely hate this man for what he did to Americans. The stories that I hear on a nightly basis, when people are coming on my show and their loved ones, their husbands, their fathers, their wives, and the way that they isolated people because of all of this, what this fool here did and said that they needed to do and had to do. That have something in my heart, you all. I don't know. And I know that you're supposed to forgive, but I just can't forgive. I can't forgive him. I don't know how to forgive him. How? What? To say I forgive you for murdering my mama, my sister, for murdering my brother, my father. How do you forgive somebody for that? But what I can do is say that he needs to burn in hell, okay? And I can continue to help other families. That's how I heal from all of this, you all, by helping other families, telling the truth, providing my platform for people to come on and tell their side of the story. That's how I have been able to heal from it. And every time all of this stuff come out, I feel liberated and vindicated because my sister and I try to tell everybody what was happening, what was going on, and telling them the truth. But Dr. Fauci, that motherfucker, I'm trying to tell you, listen, I can burn him up myself and then throw him in my chicken coop and let my chicken shit all over him and think nothing of it. Then I will have my husband scrape that up and then go and burn it up again. Okay? Make sure that motherfucker is dead. If he have a spirit, burn up his spirit too, because that's evil. The devil belongs in a pit of hell, and he's a devil that needs to go straight to hell. Okay, I don't say my.
I love it. Amen, Silk. Amen. All right, let's go. Go ahead,
Hey,
Silent.
Jenny DM.
Okay, go ahead, Silent. Your hands up, sweetie. Go ahead.
Boy, what's up, Silk? How you doing, girl?
Hey.
Good to see you again, man. Yeah,
Hello.
no, you're absolutely right. There should be nothing nothing less actually, than just extreme prejudice on that piece of shit.
That's right.
He needs to fucking just in public, like on public TV.
Yes.
Right? And now he's got a documentary coming out October 6th. What the fuck? So it's like, oh shit. But anyway, I'm gonna change the subject real quick because I do have a question and I'm gonna be quick. All right. My question to you, and this is a different person. It's not Fauci. Okay.
Yeah.
I was watching today when I got home from work. I got here about 7:30 after work, and I was watching Newsmax catching up, and they were doing a quick summary on Mitch McConnell, and they had Rand Paul. They brought Rand Paul in, right? And they said, "What do you think's happening?" He goes, "Well, all I saw was on the news." Well, he's his cohort. There's only 2 senators in Kentucky. Well, he's the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he basically said that he doesn't know anything other than what he sees on the news. Then there was 2 doctors that came on, and I posted it. If you want to get on my page, you can see it. I posted it. Where this one doctor said that they had a consortium of doctors that got together and they had like a meeting or whatever, right? And they think that he's on life support. So what they're doing, they're just stretching this shit out until August 3rd because they don't have to have a special election, right? Or an appointment or whatever, right? But what do you think Mitch McConnell's alive or dead? That was my question to you because I want to hear your take.
Yeah, I think he died the night that the ambulance went and got him. He was dead on arrival, DOA. And they know how to stretch stuff out. They know exactly what to do. That's why, when I look at these little photos that comes up, it's the same photo, but a different shirt. I'm like, he keep the same smile. Even I change the smile sometimes,
And you know what? So that picture, I believe, was from 2023.
Yeah. They've been playing games with our minds for a very long time, you all. Y'all got to have the spirit of discernment to know what's real and what's not. Follow your gut. What do you think? Do you think that he's still alive?
No.
Oh.
No.
Biden?
Excuse me.
Hey, real quick. So they played a new video they had on the Newsmax, on the guy at the CPR, right? So this was literally the people that called 911 or whatever. And the video says we're here producing CPR, but we need a supervisor. Well, why do you need a supervisor? Yeah, girl. I mean, he was dead when they walked in the room. They were
That's
trying
right.
to say, yeah, that's it.
That's right. Hey, I don't know who the fixer is, but I just shared the photo. Got it pinned at the
Wasn't
top.
that awesome?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for not putting gloves on me. I like the fact that I'm hitting them with my bare hands.
That's awesome.
It's
Well,
awesome.
see, that's the thing, though. Is that there? I'm hoping because I get this a lot from a lot of people. They're like, Fauci's on trial. And, Diamond, I'm very sorry about Diamond. I've been following you since 2017. But
Mhm.
sis, the thing of it is that we've been telling people for the longest time that this is a fraud and
That's
nobody
right.
want to listen. And now they want to turn around and say, oh, Fauci's on trial. COVID was a scam. Well, Trump had Fauci on stage during the whole entire thing. Well, did you look at Fauci? It's called central casting. I
That's
mean,
yeah.
this is people. I get a lot of people saying, because I work at a gas station, and they say, well, this isn't true because the COVID thing, that was a real deal. And I'm like, why is Fauci on trial? Why
Oh,
is Fauci doing this? And they're like, well, we took the jab and we thought it was safe. And I'm like, so now you have questions and you didn't believe us?
mm. And that's what's
And I'm
happening.
like, what the fuck? What do I do with that?
A lot of people, you even have a lot of nurses that's committing suicide because they realize what they did. There is becoming a great awakening that's happening right now in our country, you all. And we have to be there, not to console these people, but to educate these people when everything goes down. Now, look, don't forget, y'all, Monday through Fridays, the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show, 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. Excuse me, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. I think I said that right. Yeah.
You did.
10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. The Diamond Silk Chit Chat Live Show is on. Okay. I still continue on with the show as if my sister was sitting right here beside me. She's here in spirit. I'm here realistically. And while she's doing what she's doing up yonder, I'm doing what I'm doing down here. And I'm
You have a
spreading the
promo for
negative.
that,
Hey,
Silk?
hey, Skanky,
Yes.
Hey, don't interrupt,
Skanky, hang
please.
on. Silk's got to go. She's got to go do her chit chat line. She's right at her mark right here. So hang tight, buddy. Go ahead, Silk.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with continuing to spread the naked, nasty, low down, gutter written truth. I don't care how you slice it, dice it, flip it up, or rub it down, baby. I'm gonna keep telling the truth. Look, I love you all, and go to diamondsilkstore.com and get a diamond silk bobblehead for $10. Okay, I love you,
Love
baby.
you, Silk. Everybody, she is with me every other Wednesday. So come back and join us in 2 weeks for our lovely Miss Silk. She's a hoot. I love her to death. And all of you, thank you here for being here. And we'll see you on the next one. God bless everybody. Have a great evening. Take care. Thanks, Silk.
Get that bobblehead. You know, that's the least we could do for all they've done for us. They're two
Amen.
beautiful ladies, and God bless them.
Adam, do we have a promo?
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.